Let's go ahead and get things started, and then everybody can spend some more time getting reacquainted, etc. So, you know, I've done speaking in my life, but I always have notes because I forget everything, and I'm doing better at forgetting as I get older. So, welcome to our 60th reunion. You know, it's hard to believe. 60 years, I didn't know they had 60th reunions when we got out of high school. So, while you're here, and I know people are kind of wandering around, but I haven't seen anybody up in the choir. I haven't even seen anybody go back, but, you know, get a chance to take a look, because you may not be here for a while. For instance, somebody should go up and try to find where Jeff Fosnot carved his initials up in the choir, if you remember that. And when Father Zemer found JF up there, he called Jeff in. And Jeff told me, he said, "Father, you know me better than most people." And he said, I'm not that dumb. He said, if I was going to carve initials, then I would have carved somebody else's initials. And Father Zemer bought it. And so they had, everybody in the school with the initials JF had to go be interrogated by Father Zemer. That included Joyce Fry, Jimmy Fry. And I think there were first graders and he was calling over there to see if they did that. So wander around. There's some interesting, and how many of you have been called out by Father Zemer when you were in church? There you go. So I was going to call some of you and ask if you wanted to be an acolyte today. But since Father Zemer was not going to be here, I figured we really didn't need him. Although he might be here, so
yeah, trust
probably
me.
ought to be on a better behavior. So. We do have one guest here I'd like to recognize. It's Larry Floor. And where is Larry? Is he still here? At any rate, we appreciate him stopping by and seeing everybody. There's a number of people. This is what I figured I was going to have a problem with. I'd like to thank a number of people. First, Rick Aker. Rick was the guy who was in contact constantly with Vic and I, and he was spreading the word, kept calling and saying, we got another one, and so on and so forth. Dorothy Kramer. This is the third quilt that she's donated. And the money proceeds go to the Class of 65 Endowment Fund, so we will draw here in a while, so if you haven't got your tickets, please do those when you get a chance. Jane Kennelly made cards for some of the people who couldn't be here, wanted to be here, some with some health concerns and so on, so there's cards, you can sign your name. There's some index cards, write a note to them. Joyce Foster, Joyce made, her and her daughter and granddaughter made all the name tags, so we appreciate that. It was a nice family project. Bonnie Holzbacher, again, donated the cake and baked the cookies, so thanks there. Jane Howard, Bob and Anita Leeson, Steve and Marge Greiwe, they all were part of the planning, being involved with all the details and so on, getting here early, helping set up and so on. Louis got the message out, stayed in touch with it, pushed and pushed. Got a couple of interesting videos that we have here that Louis has put together that I think you'll enjoy. So we thank you for that, Lloyd. And last but not least on this list is my better half, Vicki. Vicki started with Christmas cards. sending out Christmas cards to everybody. She loves it when we got her reunion. She was coordinating. We were doing this out of Columbus, Ohio, but she spent a lot of time and loved every minute of it. So she spent a lot of hours. The interesting thing is she kept asking me, she said, well, who's heading up this committee? I said, you are. And she still wouldn't believe it. But she did tell me that the next one is going to be a local committee. So somebody's going to have Jane, Steve, and all the locals here are going to have to do our 65th, 62nd, or, Christmas party or whatever it is. Remember, we did things like when I'm 64 reunion, so we don't have to wait for times like that, but it'll be local committees. So, would also like to recognize a group that's been very, very important, and that's all the veterans in this group. So, I was going to ask you to stand up and so on and so forth. That gets difficult, of course. So all the veterans, just raise your hand, and we appreciate all of them. And the other group that we obviously need to recognize is those who are no longer with us. And so I'd like to share a video that Louis stays in touch with and keeps on top of the In Memoriam. If I can do two things at one time here.